Comment 367 tells you about a very famous mistake, which is when you're doing like a part A and a part B. Now, let's say part A is just a calculator question, and your job is to work out the square root of 5. When you work out at the square root of 5, you get, well, in some calculators, you get a great big never-ending decimal. What happened just then was it kindly, well, not kindly, it just spat back root 5 at me. To force it to get an answer, you press this SD button or this change button. Now you can't write that forever, and even this is not the complete answer. The decimals would go on forever. So initially, 2.236, you write a little ellipsis to show that you know that it goes on forever, and then you have to round it. And let's say part B requires you to use that number. So let's say this was a length, right? And you have to work out the perimeter of these things. Well, what I'm saying is, when you work out the perimeter of these, you cannot use the 2.2. If you use the 2.2, then all the errors will build up. So you'll get a little bit of accuracy, so you'll get a little bit of inaccuracy there, you'll get a little bit of inaccuracy there, you'll get a little bit of inaccuracy there, and a little bit of inaccuracy there. Now, all those inaccuracies might add up to something which is wrong when you round it. Now, I don't know whether this example will work, but let's see. Okay, so that's 1.4 roughly, and that's 2.2 roughly. So the answer where you use the rounded answers from the previous part, that's this, which is 2.8 plus 4.4, which is 7.2, which is to one decimal place, and to the nearest whole is 7. But what if I'd done it properly? Root 5 plus root 5 plus root 2, whoops, root 5 plus root 5 plus root 2 plus root 2 equals that. You change that to a decimal. There we go, the actual answer is 7.3. Whereas if we use the rounded answers, we get 7.2. So this is a classic example of how you will needlessly get a question wrong if you use the rounded answers from a previous part in a later part. Now the solution is twofold. Either just type in the source calculation again, that's what I was doing here, I went root 5. So basically I did part A all over again. Alternatively, just use the answer button. The answer button, which on this calculator is this one, that calls up again and saves you having to type whatever last appeared on the screen after you press the equals button. So if I just start afresh and go 5 plus answer, it will treat that as 5 plus 7.3000, etc. And then I get a perfectly accurate 12.3. If you need to store more of them, use the memory buttons, which are these pink or purple buttons above the actual buttons, and you engage them by pressing the alpha button first. But that's a more sophisticated topic for another video. So now that's what comment 367 is about. It's about saying, by all means, round an answer for part A, but if you have to use that answer later, do not use the rounded version, use the accurate version.